Hi, welcome back to Therapy Designs. If you're new to this channel, my name is Kelly and this channel is all about creating print-on-demand designs using Canva. So if that is something that you're interested in, please do stick around. So in today's video, I'm gonna do something a little bit different, stray away from some shirt designs for a while and talk about sweatpants. And so specifically, I'm gonna talk about two different pairs of sweatpants on Printful, and talk about how you can design for them. One is embroidery and one is print. And so I'll show you an example right here. So we're going to talk about how we can make this one right here with pocket embroidery. And then if I was to scroll down really quick, then we are going to talk about how we can do this one right here that just has the side print. By the way, these are examples of ones that I specifically own, and in fact the first one I'm wearing right now while I'm filming this I'm wearing because they're very soft and very comfortable. And so I'll talk a little bit about sweatpants for you guys. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you stick around. And as a bonus, I'm also showing you right now how I made a little size chart for both of these joggers. So if you were going to go ahead and sell this in like your Etsy store, for example, you may want to have a special size chart made. So this is a size chart here for the ones that just have the side print. And then here is the second size chart that I made that is for the embroidery. And so you would include something like that if you were doing this as an Etsy listing, but of course you can also sell these on Amazon via Seller Central too. So again, if you want to learn how to do this, go ahead and stick around. So today I am going to be steering away from shirts and talking about sweatpants. So there are lots of different ways that you can do sweatpants. I like Printful. They have two pairs of sweatpants that I love, that I have personally bought for myself, and in fact one that I'm actually wearing right now, that are very comfortable. So I'm going to talk about how you can embroider with the sweatpants and how you can print with the sweatpants. And then of course you can sell these sweatpants on Amazon via Seller Central, or you could sell them on Etsy, or however it is that you like to sell your products. But this is fast, it's easy, and it's a little less saturated than t-shirts. And so there's still lots of ways that you can go about doing this. And so I am on Printful, right? And I'm on their product catalog. And so we'll just go ahead and go down. I'm going to click men's clothing, and you can go down to bottoms and then sweatpants and joggers. And so you'll see that they've got a few different ones. So this one right here, it is what their, best seller sweatpants here. These are actually the ones I think I'm wearing right now. And then I also have these ones over here that just say unisex joggers. They both say unisex joggers. This one has more colors, obviously, but they're both a little bit different. These are a little bit thicker and have a slightly different fit than these. But what I like about each one of them and why I have both of them and what I'm going to show you is these do a really nice embroidered, front pocket, whereas in these you can do that print down the side look. And so I've got two different looks on two different pairs of sweatpants. This one's a little bit more expensive, so about $5 more, but still pretty close in price. I haven't tried these. These are a lot more expensive, and then you've got like your all over print ones, but these are the two that I want to talk about today. So if I was just to go over to this one, says bestseller, so let's just start here. You can see what they do is they have embroidery right there on that front pocket, and so there's an example right there for that one. And so if I was to go down, you just keep going down, you got your style, your fit. So they do the regular printing, but this one also does the embroidery, and so that's what I like this one for. Not that you can't do the printing. You can do the printing on, the leg, the front of the leg, the back of the leg, the pocket. But this one doesn't do the side of the leg. So I like the side of the leg prints. This one you can print, but it'll be front of the leg or back of the leg or the pocket. So I'd rather do the pocket and do the front embroidery. But I mean, they do have an example here that is the front of the leg right there. So I'm not as fond of that as much as I like the sort of side of the thigh, which is what the other sweatpants do. And this one doesn't even show them any designs on them. So that's just generic sweatpants. Okay, so let's go ahead and we can look at file guidelines for the embroidery. And it'll come down here. Embroidery, they just say it's a square, so it's 4 inches by 4 inches, which just means that you can pick anything that you want to embroider there and just make it so that it fits a square. And I usually try to make it as big as possible, and then I can, you know, shrink it down if I need to, but I want it to, you know, be good quality. Here are your examples of the different types of embroidery. So the unlimited embroidery versus the standard. The standard, you're allowed to pick 6 different colors, and so you've got 6 uniquely colored threads. Here, I think what they mostly do is dye the thread. So they put it all with one thread color and then they dye the thread, and so that's how you get that sort of rainbow color. Now this one is more expensive, so if you want a design that's got a gradient of colors or a lot of colors, that's what you would want to do, but most of the time the standard will do. And of course it's always cool to just do just a solid one color too. Looks pretty nice. It'll show you different embroidery types too, so flat versus the 3D puff. The 3D puff you would really only do on the hats if you want sort of that puffy look, but apparel, it's just usually the flat kind, and so there's an example there. They do charge you, by the way, depending on how many stitches there are, so it really depends on how detailed the design is. So if it's something pretty simple, it uses less stitching, then it's cheaper. If it's something very detailed, it uses a lot more stitching, then it's more expensive. You do have a one-time fee to digitize the design, so the first time that you sell that particular design, they charge $6.50 for digitization, and then after that it's free, but they still, you know, charge for embroidery. So embroidery is more expensive than printing, so just something to be aware of. And so with that in mind, I know I can do just a little square and go ahead and make a design for these. So if I was just to go ahead and jump over to Canva right now, and let's just go ahead and pick custom size. I'm going to do a square. I'm going to go with 4,000 by 4,000 pixels, something nice and big, right? So here is my square, and I can embroider anything I like. So let's say I'm doing these nice black sweatpants. This is where you can be as creative as you want. You can embroider anything that you want, so lots of different ways to go with this. The sky is the limit, but think about things that people would want that would be unique, that would make them want to buy it, and what they would want particularly on sweatpants too. So I mean, you could do things like monograms if you think people would be interested in having like their initials on their sweatpants. You could do things like more sports related. You could even do things that are maybe a little bit less popular sports related, like if somebody was in track and field and they were a pole vaulter, you could do some sort of a pole vault embroidery, and that might be something that would be a little bit more unique and something that a pole vaulter may like. And so it really just depends. Sky's the limit with the embroidery. The ones I have right now, they just say DPT, and they've got a little medical symbol because I am a physical therapist, so that's what I have them for. But I sell ones that have like crypto on it, so there's different cryptocurrencies that you can put on there, and those can be popular as well. You can do some dive ones with just like the word dive on it, and you can do that with the different colors. So really you can be as creative as you really want here. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go just super simple. I'll show you the ones that I have on just because they're the ones I'm wearing. So if I was going to do that, what I would do is just, I have a medical symbol, so if I just put medical, just keep it really easy. And so I've got one of these, and so you're looking for something that looks really simple, that would work well with embroidery. And so like this one right here, and I can make that a nice solid color. So let's go ahead and just go with white, something like that. You know, I can keep it straight up and down. I can angle it a little bit. And so something in there. And then if I was to put text and I was to just put DPT, and again, the text you want to be relatively simple. right? So, you know, something here like that. I want it to be bold, simple. I don't remember what I used. A like is a good one. I can do a like in bold too. Maybe not bold because I do want some spacing, sort of just depends. And so something like that would be a simple embroidery style design that you might like to do. So boom, simple embroidery. So let's just use this as an example. But again, you know, sky is the limit with embroidery. So you can use symbols, you can use letters, you can use a combination of both. You can use just one or the other. As long as it's a nice, simple design, it doesn't have a lot of colors, it's great. If it does have a lot of colors, you can always pay for the other embroidery. I like the simple ones though, so I mean, I could do this with a couple different colors if I wanted to. I like it better with just the one color. And again, the colors that you pick are going to be the thread colors on Printful, so it really doesn't matter what colors you have these here now because you're picking your thread color. And in fact, if you want the ability to choose different colors, then you may want to make each of these a different color, and that's going to give you the ability to select different colors. And in fact, what I could do is use this one right here, which is the same one, but it's got two different colors. So now if I wanted to do this in embroidery, I could pick different colors that might look kind of cool. So let's say I did that. And I'm going to go ahead and download this. It does have to be a transparent background. It's a PNG. I can hit download. And then I'm going to go right over to Printful and show you how this is done. So I'm just going to jump right over to Printful. And let's go ahead and we'll create a product template. So I'm going to click Create Product Template here. This is where you can pick between the printing and the embroidery. If you're doing the printing, you can pick where you want it, whether front leg, right, left, back leg, or pocket. I'm doing the embroidery. With the embroidery, you really only get one pick, and it's going to be right here over the pocket. So let's go ahead. I can click Upload, and then I'm going to hit Upload New File, and I'm just going to upload the file that I just made. So there it is, and I can hit Apply. And it's going to put it right here. And so now what I can do is pick the thread colors. So I can make these all the same thread colors, or I can make them different thread colors. So for example, let's say I'm going to go ahead and make the blue white. Okay. And so now you can see it just changed the blue to white. And maybe I make the green a nice gray color. So there's just a little bit of a difference in tone, nothing super dramatic. And then of course the DPT, I can make that white, I can make it blue, I can make it yellow. So here's where you can just sort of pick whatever colors that you want. If you wanted it to be a little bit brighter so that it stood out, I could do that. Or I could stick with white and just have, you know, the two-tone right there. And so that might look kind of cool. And so, boom. So now I've picked my thread colors, white, gray, and white. And there is my design, and it will be embroidered onto the pocket like that. And that looks pretty good. And so that's more or less what I have. I just have the all white when I did this, but that's essentially what I'm wearing right now. If I was to sort of stand up for you guys, that's what I'm wearing right now. And they're super, super comfortable. So I can hit Save Template. And one second, boom, there's my template saved. Now I also wanted to show you, I'm going to go back up to Product Catalog, how you would do sort of the side printing too, which I also have a pair of side printed ones, so I might as well just show you how we do those as well. So again, I'm at men's clothing. I'm going to scroll down to the bottoms, and I'm going to hit sweatpants and joggers. For these, I like to use this one right here, which is the Jerseys sweatpants. They're a little bit cheaper, still very soft, very comfortable, slightly different fit, but they allow more of the side leg printing, which I really like to do. And so again, if I was to scroll down, actually it looks like this one will do embroidery too, but this one I like for the side printing, so the right leg, left leg, and I can hit See File Guidelines. And so what we have is a print area of 3.5 inches by 14.5 inches. And so you can design in inches or pixels. I always, kind of translate everything into pixels, but what we essentially have is something that is going to be very long and very skinny. And so let's say I was to add a 0 to the end of both of these and make it 350 pixels by 1450 pixels, for example. So let's just go ahead and go back over to Canva and I'll show you. So I already forget what I said, 350 versus 1000. This is where my memory sucks. 1450. Oops, wrong one. 1450 pixels, create new design. This is going to give you an idea. See how long and skinny that is. So that is what you are working with. Again, I'm going to go ahead and make that black. And so you are looking to design in that space. So this is where a word might actually fit well. Yeah, you could do a design, but I think a word, the logo might work too, but something down the side here. So I did one, I'm a physical therapist, I did one that just said therapy down the side, and then it was about picking a cool font. So I'm going to start by just hitting T on the keyboard. I'm just going to use my example, therapy. And again, you can do whatever you want. And so there it is. And I'm going to go ahead and rotate it 90 degrees. And I had it coming up and down the pant leg like that. And then there was lots of different fonts that you can use. And so, sky's the limit. You need something that's a little bit more simple, but at the same rate. So like there's one if I wanted to do like the yearbook style or the sports style, which is already not long enough. And so you can play with sort of which kinds of fonts you want. These are just ones that were in my recently used. And so you can see, I played with a lot of different ones. I might have gone up to display fonts, and I was just looking for what I thought might look the coolest. And honestly, I don't remember the name of the one that I had chose that I have. But you can definitely see. So something like that would be too thin. So it needs to be definitely a little bit bulky. For embroidery, you don't want it to be too thin. You don't want it to be too thick. You want it to be just right. So you can see as you just sort of play with these and pick ones that you like. And literally it's just me playing with the different fonts to find a font that I think looks cool for whatever style of design I'm doing. And again, you could have anything here. Just make sure that you do your trademark check. So there, if you wanted to do it in all like lowercase like that, that might look a little cool, though I don't know that I like the two different. I tend to like uppercase just because it's gonna fit a little bit better, but there's a lowercase one that you could use. Let me see if I can figure out which one I had used before. Okay. So I couldn't find whichever one I was looking for, but this is a good example. So this is pretty close to what I had. So it had that inline feature. And so this particular one is called, what is it? Ambiguity inline. And for this, I just did a search for inline fonts. And so inline fonts will kind of give you that inline look. And there's a few different ones that you can choose from. But anyways, there you go. That's more or less what I did. And so I'm going to go ahead and just download this. So I'm going to hit download. Again, transparent background, PNG. I'm going to hit download. We'll jump back over to Printify and I'll show you how those will look if we were to put those on some pants. Okay, so I am back here to where the joggers are. We're going to go ahead and go with these jerseys, joggers. And I'm going to go ahead and do a create product template here. We are going to go ahead and go with the printing. Now I do like it on the left leg. You can choose left leg or right leg. My preference is left leg, but again, you can pick whatever you want. And I'm just going to go ahead and drop my file here. So I'm going to hit upload new file. And I'm going to select what I just made. There it is. And I'm going to hit apply. And boom. So now that's what it's going to look like. It looks pretty cool. It'll show you on other things too. It's saying that I should pick a larger print file. So, I should have definitely gone ahead and sort of scaled this up. So what I could do to scale it up again would be to go back to it, and we can try to resize this and make it double the size. So I can go to resize magic switch, and we can hit custom size. And now this is 350 by 1450. I don't know if it's going to let us do this. Will that fit? Nope, too big. Okay, so I can't just add another 0. Darn. Okay, so let's try it again. Let's just see if I can double it. So 350 doubled would be 700. 1450 doubled. Oh gosh, that's math. 15. Just short of 3,000. Let's just make it 3,000. And hit continue. And I'm just going to go ahead and resize this design. Boom. Looks pretty identical, except now it's got bigger pixels. And so, again, I can go ahead, download transparent background PNG. The other way I could have done it, by the way, would have just been to move this little size thing. So right now it says 700 by 3,000 pixels. I can go, like, move this up, by the way, like 1.25. And that's now making it 875 by 3,750. And so you can always just play with this when you go to download to change the size. That's how I would do it for something big like a blanket. So if I was printing on a blanket or something large like that, I would just go ahead and scale this down to maybe 1.5, maybe even 2 if it needed to be on something really big. But there you go. And I can hit download. Didn't remember to put transparent background, right? Well, let's see. I can go back here. We can go ahead and change this. So I can click here and get rid of it. Let's try again. Upload new file. Take 2. There you go. Exactly the same thing, but now it says good. Yay! And it fits inside the box pretty well. So that is your design. That is the box. So we are right smack in there really well. And what we can do if we wanted to would be go to mockup and see how that's going to look. And so there you go. So you've got your therapy down the side just like that. There it is with the person, therapy down the side. And so I have these pants too. I love them, and that's essentially what mine look like. So there you go. I recommend these pants. I think that they, they look good, they fit good, they're soft. I sell them. I personally like them. They're a little bit different than shirts, so it's a little bit different way that you can go with it. And I mean, it's really quick and easy to design for. I mean, literally you pick, I picked a word, for example, that wasn't trademarked, and boom. Or I picked, an embroidery thing for just a pocket. And so some of these can be very quick and easy. So if you sell on Seller Central and you're integrated with Printful, or if you sell on Etsy and you're integrated with Printful, this is just another product that's really, fast and easy to sell. That is a good product that I recommend. So anyways, if you have any questions about this, I'm going to go ahead and save my product template. Put it in the comments section below. I will try to get back to everybody as quickly as I can. If there's any, designs or topics or products that you're interested in, or that you want me to do a video on, go ahead, put that in the comments section below. I'll see if I can add you to my list. I hope you guys are doing really well with your second quarter and getting up a lot of, cool, creative, unique designs. And I do hope to see you guys again later. That's it for today's video. If you found that useful and would like to see more videos with helpful tips and tricks, be sure to hit like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of the weekly videos. As always, keep growing and stay creative, and we'll see you next time.